Don't forget to click that subscribe button to become a member of the Bit Squad. For the month of December, we're giving away a Nano Ledger S sponsored by Nimic. Make sure you guys like and comment on all of our videos in December to get the maximum number of entries. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you guys did not watch our video last week that I put out regarding SIM swapping and the dangers it presents, I'm going to go ahead and put that video up top so you can check that one out, because that lays the foundation for today's video, which is how to neutralize the threat of SIM card swapping. Because if you watched our video, you know that actually a lot of people have this idea that you can secure your phone account if you're with Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, or Sprint to the point where it cannot be infiltrated. However, what we've discovered is that most of these high-profile accounts that are getting SIM card swapped are done from the inside. Basically, organized crime organizations are paying people that work at these phone companies between $80 and $100 for every number that they port over, and then they're stealing your phone number. And once they have your phone number, it's very easy for them to pick apart your identity and basically steal everything that you have. So that's just a quick overview, but like I said, make sure that you watch the video to get a better understanding of what SIM card swapping is. Now let's talk about how you neutralize it. So there are basically only two ways in my mind that you can neutralize SIM card swapping. The first way is with a cold storage wallet. Now here, I'm specifically only talking about your crypto. This is obviously not going to help your Facebook account, your Twitter account, your Instagram account, or any other accounts you have, your bank account, anything like that. But how to keep your crypto safe to neutralize the threat of SIM card swapping is by using a cold storage wallet, aka a hardware wallet. So I've actually reviewed several of these wallets. My favorite, as a lot of you guys know, is coolwallet. I really do love that wallet. It's actually called coolwallet because it's in cold storage and hot storage, meaning that it has an offline element to it. It also has an app kind of to help you to back things up, but you have to have both pieces together in order to get into the crypto. However, the amount of coins that one works with is somewhat limited. It's Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash. You can add any ERC20 to that wallet, and I'm not sure if they've added a couple more things that they work with. But the one that actually works with the most different coins is Ledger. It's very popular. It's kind of the granddaddy of them all, if you will. And it's very important to know, if you want to get all your crypto and put it on a Ledger, you may have to actually get a few different ledgers, because even though it can hold many different ones, as you can see behind me, you can only add so many different ones to one wallet. So you might be able to add Tron, Ontology, VeChain, Zcash, all these different things, but then all of a sudden it'll tell you there's no more room, so you can't put your Bitcoin on there. So if you want to use Ledger as kind of a all storage solution, then you may have to get a few different ones to be able to do it. Because once you get your crypto onto the hardware wallet, it is pretty much untouchable. Unless there's one way that people can still get into your hardware wallets, which is if you wrote down your mnemonic phrase somewhere someone could find it, that includes digitally. So I actually had a hardware wallet that I was using, and at one time I had a file on my computer where I had the mnemonic phrase to that wallet. And to me, when I was figuring out where I want to move all my crypto, when I was like thinking about this whole situation and how dangerous SIM card swapping is, I said to myself, even though I've deleted that file, I've basically gotten rid of it. The fact that at any point I typed out those mnemonic phrases, the seed words onto my computer, right there, that told me that I just couldn't be 100% sure it was safe. So I kind of started all over and got some new hardware wallets and moved everything around where I wanted it to be. Because I have a horror story from one of my friends. I'm not going to say who it is. There's some stuff ongoing. But he actually had all of his crypto on a hardware wallet, and at one point had taken a picture of his mnemonic phrase, and that actually went onto his computer, into his cloud, and someone was able to hack in and do it that way, and was still actually able. He actually watched the money go off of his hardware wallet right in front of him, and there was nothing he could do about it. It was a very unfortunate situation. So you have to remember, you can use a hardware wallet, but you also have to make sure that you keep your mnemonic phrase, your seed phrase, recovery phrase, whatever you want to call it, completely off anything digital. Don't let anyone ever see it. There's actually a really cool thing that I got, which is, I forgot what they're called, but they're little cards, but they're made out of metal. And then I bought a $13 engraving pen, and I actually engraved my mnemonic phrases onto those pieces of metal. So that way they're fireproof, floodproof, everything proof, and I don't have to worry about them getting lost or ripped apart like a piece of paper. So that's another tip for you guys. So that's one way. So a lot of you guys probably already know that. You already know how to use hardware wallets. You used them before. I hope maybe in that little segment there, I gave you a few extra tips that you can use with your hardware wallet. Okay, let's move on to the second thing. So the second thing you can do to neutralize the SIM card swapping is not have anything tied to your phone. And you might say, well, that's really hard to do. It may sound very difficult, but it's actually not. There are other options. I actually have a third-party app that I have another phone line on, which I'm not going to say which one that is because I don't want anybody to try to start digging around hacking it. It's nothing that anyone would ever think of. So that's one real cool thing you can do is get a third party. But I also have discovered that the best way to do this is actually through Google Voice. And I'm going to explain to you guys how people can still hack into your 2FA even if they don't have your machine. Because you might have a phone and you might say, oh, the 2FA is only good for this phone. And you would be right. So if someone can't break into your physical phone, they can't get to your 2FA. However, don't feel too secure, my friend, because there's actually a way hackers can get around that. And of course, if you're using SMS for 2FA, which would be a text message for 2FA instead of a 2FA app, then of course that's obviously very dangerous, why we have to untie your phone number from that. But if you're using a physical device in an app for your 2FA, and what hackers can do, if they can get your phone number, if they can SIM swap your phone number, and they can break into your email account, which a lot of people don't realize how tied in your identity is to your email account. You have a backup email address there, you have a backup phone number there, and those are the ways that hackers are able to hack into your email. Once they have your email, then they can do forget password, or they can go through some kind of workarounds to basically get a new 2FA code sent to a new phone that will still get them in to your accounts. So that's why even if you think it's just on your device, there are ways around it. And that's just one way. There are plenty of other ways that hackers have that are far above anything that I know how to do, and they can get around. I would never imagine somebody could have actually taken crypto off of a hardware wallet. So you just have to understand that if you feel safe, that means you probably are not. If you are kind of always on the edge and you're always thinking about how you can stay more secure, that's probably when you're more closely to the right track. Okay, so how do we do this with Google Voice? Okay, what you have to do is, and I'm going to put this link down below. I'm going to put it at the very top of this video, description below, and that is a Kraken phone security page. I suggest everyone pause the video right now, go read that entire thing, and then come back. I'm going to summarize some things that I think you need to get out of that, especially when it comes to Google Voice. It basically gives you 3 options on how to stay safe in this website. It gives you, number 1, just pray. Like, go to your phone company and tell them, say, hey, put all these flags on my account, don't let anybody through, and then pray that nobody goes and does an inside job. Number 2, you can use a burner phone, but the most secure way is actually to use a Google Voice number. Now, you may find some things online that say that Google Voice is not a good idea, but they're actually missing some key steps on how you can secure that Google Voice account. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to create a brand new Google account. And this account needs to be something that does not use your real name, does not use your real birthday, does not use your phone number, does not use anything that possibly could tie it to your identity. Even if you want to use a VPN to make sure you have an IP address that isn't close to your house, you can do that as well. Now, when you go through the process of creating this account, there's going to be a spot where you're going to have to provide either a backup phone number or a backup email address. And you can even give both at the beginning. It doesn't matter. Because what we're going to do is after we set up that account completely, we're going to go back into the Google settings or the email, and we are going to enable 2-factor authentication with either Authy or Google Authenticator, whichever one that you want to use. Now, once you do that, here's where it gets a little tricky. It's like a loophole. Basically, once you enable that two-factor authentication, you can go back into your Google settings and you can remove your phone number and you can remove your email address. So now there is no record of this email address tying to you at all whatsoever. It's brand new. There's no mail in it. There's nothing coming in. You create the Google Voice number, and now you have a Google Voice number that is completely free and clear, not tied to anything else you have. Because you have to think about the way that a hacker thinks. It's all about breadcrumbs and trails. All they need is a little bit. They're like bloodhounds. They just need a little whiff of something, and they can find almost anything on your computer in any of your accounts and things like that. So what you want to do is you want to separate yourself from all of your accounts in a footprint kind of way. You want to remove your personal footprint from these accounts. So I would suggest setting up dummy email addresses, dummy phone numbers for things like Twitter, Google, Instagram. You don't want any way that anyone can tie your actual real phone number to any of your accounts. This is what a hacker needs. A hacker needs 10 to 15 minutes. That's usually about all they're going to get, unless maybe they do it in the middle of the night. They're going to get about 10 to 15 minutes. That's going to be the time it takes for you to get a text message on your phone saying that your account has been, that your number has been ported out somewhere else. And then how long you have before you can actually get your phone company on the phone to halt everything that's happened and switch your number back. They need 10 to 15 minutes. So if you can make a really large, complicated web that they have to figure out where all the pieces go to get even a small piece of information, then that's going to make it much more likely, even if somehow you are hacked, that they won't be able to get to all your accounts. So obviously use different passwords for everything. Don't use the same password on anything. So anything you can do to lengthen that process that they're going to need to find things out about you to get into your accounts, the better. So I hope everybody has gotten something out of this video. I know usually I'm making like funny videos and I got a funny intro and things like that, but this is a very serious video. And I want you guys to really take into consideration what I've told you. If you think that you are safe, you are not safe. You need to always stay on your toes with security, with crypto, because what we're doing in cryptocurrency is we are removing the middlemen. We are removing the bank from our lives. Now, the bank has some advantages. It has a lot of disadvantages, but the advantages the bank has is, for the most part, if you get money stolen out of your account, they will help you. They'll do an investigation. If they find out it was fraud, they'll put it back in your account and things like that. So they have a level of protection that they are offering you, but that protection comes with a price. We're not going to get into this video about all the reasons why we don't want banks in our lives. If you're watching this video, then chances are you understand the battle that we're fighting and how they're constantly stealing from us. But they do offer that protection. So now that we're removing that protection, we're removing that middleman, we are responsible for our own money. We are responsible for our own crypto. And with that responsibility comes a weight of having to protect it. Now, I think down the road, there's going to be much easier ways to protect your crypto, and it's going to be harder for hackers to get in and things like that. But this is where we're at right now. So if you have any sizable amount that you couldn't stomach to lose, then you need to make sure that you're following all of the tips in that the phone security website I listed down below in the video description. Make sure you check that out and do everything you can to make sure that your crypto is safe. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. Hope you got a lot out of this video. BitBoy out.